Hello and welcome to another Force 13 live event with myself, Nathan Foy, joined by many more people once again this evening. We'll be talking about all things Cyclone and possibly other weather-related things as well. Hopefully, my guests will not be having little crises of their own in the background like one of them is right now, which we'll get on to very shortly. First of all, we have Jean, who's joining us from Mauritius this evening. He's tracking, he's rather interested in Cyclone Jolene, of course, which is passing, which will be passing Rodrigues very soon. It's weakened, that storm. We'll get onto that very shortly. We also have Daniel. His nickname is Waniel. He's the one with the crisis at the moment.
He's sorted now.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure? Good. We also have Jason joining us from Ebola-affected Australia. I think just some rainfall occurring there at the moment. Is it a bit gusty, is it, as well? Yeah. We also have Steve as well joining us from Illinois, where there is a tornado watch currently in effect there. So he's going to be keeping us up to date with any tornado problems and severe thunderstorms that are occurring in parts of the US in the next few hours. We'll try and keep on top of that, even though it's not quite our forte here at Force 13. But hey, why not? But first of all, Jason's showing us the map, which is very helpful because I don't have any ready. Oh, is it gone again? Well, it was there. I can't see it on my screen anymore, but hopefully it's still there, showing the whole view of everything that's going on. And I'm just going to get my info up as well. Jean actually is also showing us some a loop there showing Cyclone Jolene headed towards the south, not too far from the island of Rodrigues. Let me first of all tell you about what's going on the island there. Class 1 warnings are in effect still for Rodrigues, and that's been the case for some time actually. Even last night when we were doing our broadcast 24 hours ago or so, it was the same thing back then, Class 1 warnings, so they remain in effect. The latest wind speed indication from Cyclone Jolene is that the storm is with winds of 85 miles per hour, which is around, what's that in kilometers per hour? Something like, oh, trying to think. Can't even think at the moment. Put me on the spot, didn't it? Getting to, what are you laughing at, Daniel? About 130 kilometers per hour, something like that.
It's just
Very funny, very funny.
There's
Yeah.
a cat next to me and it's kicking me.
Excellent. There's the latest image of Cyclone Jolene working with amateurs. Well, one of them anyway. The edge of the storm is Rodrigues there, highlighted by my cursor, which I'm hovering around right now. So the edge of the storm is along the coast of Rodrigues. You can just about see Mauritius far to the left-hand side as well. The storm itself moving towards the south, or perhaps a little bit of eastward element. I've not really been keeping tabs on its general direction, but I think it's still being towards the southeast. You can see it on Jean's imagery there. And on Jason's image there, you can see the storm as well. So it has weakened significantly since in the past 12 to 24 hours. It was 105 miles per hour, and it's gone down to 85. So a drop of 20 miles per hour in the past 24 hours or so, or less than that. Any questions for us, by the way, you can send them in on the comments page of the YouTube video, which is running live right now. Of course, you can send in comments retrospectively as well, but I don't think that will be very effective. But you can send in comments, and of course, yeah, we'll reply to them as best we can. Would anyone else like to say anything at this point?
No, not really.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Apart from apologising for laughing.
Yeah, you should.
I couldn't help it.
I wonder whether Steve might want to tell us the latest information on the tornado. He's actually got a screen share up there now, I think. Showing a typhoon, sorry, not typhoon, tornado watch in effect for parts of Asia, including where he is right now in Illinois. Of course, Arkansas as well has some significant a tornado warning in effect there, I believe, in some areas. Things progress very quickly, and indeed flood watches, I think, are also in effect for various parts too. Steve's showing us there. some of the situations going on over in Illinois into other areas as well. Yes, he's hovering like mad. There's Jason's imagery showing what's going on there. A little bit of a storm cell beginning to form there in the center of your screen. It's like a little line, isn't it? I'm not so well read up on these sort of things, so I'm not quite the expert. But we return to tornadoes and severe thunderstorms a little bit later on in the show. There's Jolene shown by Jean, and headed towards the southeast. Meteo France actually have downgraded it to a tropical storm, but they predict re-intensification. So that's interesting to see. It's an eyebrow raiser. And that's expected to move towards the southeast and then gradually turn towards the south, where it will eventually turn post-tropical, probably in around 2 days from now. Elsewhere, I think the models may be indicating some new developments soon as well, and yeah, that's what Jason's showing us. I wondered whether that was current then, and but you can certainly see a storm possibly developing here. It has been forecasted on the models. Vanuatu just towards the east of the storm. Hopefully it won't end up there, but this may be our next storm in the Australian region in the Coral Sea. Is that Australia, or is it classed as the South Pacific, that area? It's not too far from the border, is it? But we'll obviously be watching that one. That was 94p, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and that currently, as far as we know, has winds of around 30 miles per hour, 30, and a pressure of around 1,004 millibars. So you can see a warning issued from Nadi in Fiji, tropical depression 15F. They've named it, with a central pressure of 1,000. Was analysed near 13.6 degrees south, 160.7 degrees east, slow-moving, position poor. Expect clockwise winds of up to 35 knots within 60 to 120 nautical miles away from the centre. And that will probably be our next tropical cyclone by the looks of it. It's getting that look about it, certainly. And just look at that.
So... There's Joe and Lane.
Steve?
We have a new confirmed tornado in Ohio, northeastern Hancock County in northwest Ohio, southern Sandusky County in northwest Ohio, northern Seneca County in northwestern Ohio, and southeastern Wood County in northwest Ohio until 5:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Ow! How far is that from where you
Daniel,
live?
don't say ow.
Sorry, the cat got me again.
Yeah, you need to stop that. Steve?
Well, Steve,
Mm-hmm.
how far is that from where you live?
So that's in New York, Ohio, so that's probably like 300 miles away, I think.
Alright. Ow.
And yet there's a tornado in Iowa, which is probably around 150 miles away from me.
Yeah. Is that the nearest one?
Yeah, that's the nearest one.
Alright.
Okay, very good. Sorry, I'm just typing whilst you guys were having a little conversation there. Jean is showing us the Earth map. I wonder whether we could put along the forecast there and see what the future of the storm may be according to that map. I'll also load up my model. Daniel, will you just throw that cat out of the window, please?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to keep away from it now.
Right, yeah, you better. If anyone has any comments about Daniel and his cat, then...
I can't resist stroking him though.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing you should be doing off-air, Daniel. Okay?
Okay, I'll stop now.
John's showing us the progression of the storm as it's supposed to move towards the south generally, and then looks like a curve towards the west, actually, in the next few days. Once it clears those islands, it'll be weakening by that point, and we'll turn into post-tropical very soon after that. And then it will move towards, maybe back towards the southeast again, trying to make its mind up on where exactly to go. Of course, storms naturally head polewards. Of course, in the southern hemisphere, they'll gravitate towards the South Pole. Not that any of them ever get there.
Yeah. Indeed.
I'm just going to take a look at my model runs as well to show another perspective on where the GFS model predicts a storm to go. As you can see, moving towards the south, then a bit more westerly, and then a bit of a stall, and then back towards the southeast down here, well away from any land areas, and it looks like a stall, and then it'll be picked up by that front there as it moves towards the southeast. Of course, the immediate threat is with the island of Rodrigues, and that is the only location by the looks of things that will see any sort of threat from that storm. Any questions for us about storms past, present or future? We'll be pleased to answer. If I can't, I'm sure someone on our team can. And if you've got any questions about the weather as well, particularly about the tornado watch in the US, Steve will be on top of that, I'm sure.
Okay, we have another confirmed tornado.
2 confirmed tornadoes now, Steve.
Yeah, it's in West Virginia and Ohio, so it's in the border.
Okay.
Northwestern Wood County in West Virginia. This includes the city of Parkersburg, southeastern Athens County, southeast Ohio.
The city of where?
The city of Parkersburg in West Virginia.
Okay.
This includes the cities of Coolville, Athens, southwestern Washington County, and southeast Ohio. This includes the city of Belpre.
Okay.
What's happened?
Looking at them.
A new tornado formed.
Yeah.
Alright. Any in Chicago yet?
Looking at the models here, not too much expected for the Western Pacific, just to let you know.
We'll call it a tornado outbreak.
We're sort of doing like a double-barreled thing today. We're doing tropical cyclones and the tornado situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss anything when I went off? Stream.
Just missed the start of Steve, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oops.
I'm still trying to type my tweet. You know what it is. You know what it is. Just telling people what's on the show. There's Jean showing us the models, what they predict the storm to do. And I know he also showed the same thing for the new storm that may be forming in the South Pacific as well. I know I didn't comment on it, but you did see it on your screen. So if we could go back to that as well, so we can have a little bit of a chat about that. You can see it there. So I'm not sure how the yellow line manages to start all the way over there near Vanuatu, but it looks like it won't be a storm for Vanuatu. It looks like it'll be a storm for New Caledonia instead, by the looks of things. GFS, GEM, and NavGem all say a landfall or a near landfall on New Caledonia. The NavGem being the outlier there, sort of, just paralleling the coast, and then moving off towards the east or southeast. So that's probably going to be the main cause for concern over the next few days. Of course, if it gets anywhere near Vanuatu, that's obviously going to hamper the recovery efforts there after Cyclone Pam just struck just 3 or 4 weeks ago. So obviously we'll be keeping eyes on that. Indeed.
That's not gets hit again, is it?
What's that?
It's not good. It's not good if it gets hit again, is it?
Well, clearly not.
So what was Steve saying? Because I got kicked. It crashed yet again.
I didn't kick you. I didn't kick you at
No,
all.
it crashed. I must have jinxed it. It crashed on me
That's
again.
unfortunate. Jason, I don't know whether you could show us whether visible imagery has arrived over Invest 94p yet, because it should be around now.
Oh, forget it.
There's a close-up on that system now. What were you going to say something then, Daniel?
Yeah, did I already say before that Jolene's dead?
It's not dead.
I thought it dissipated.
No. Here's our novice at work again.
Shut up! Making an example of me.
It's not. I'm just saying that 85 miles per hour is far from dead.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Oh yes, there's some. Is that first visible imagery arriving? Yes, it is. That's over Invest 94p. It's not been named as a tropical cyclone yet, obviously, so we'll be keeping eyes on that. And if it does, then I'll let you know. I'm trying to get all them blocks to load. It is annoying, isn't it? You can see the centre of the storm quite clearly just south of the Solomon Islands. Vanuatu off to the east there. Obviously, we'll be watching that. As I say. And someone else has arrived.
Hello.
Michael, thanks for joining us.
You alright?
Hello, Michael.
Well, fine. Michael, what are we looking at?
The ceiling.
I don't know.
That's not very
I don't know where
good,
my
is it?
camera is. Ah, here it is. There we
You
go.
gotta find it. It's like finding Needle in a haystack almost.
There you go.
Nice of you to
There
join
you
us,
go.
Michael.
We have
Might want
another
a picture of a bit.
tornado confirmed.
Sorry, I've only
Steve.
literally just logged onto the computer.
Excellent. Let Steve just tell us. Let Steve just tell us about the latest tornado.
There's a new tornado in central Andre County in central Missouri until 4:45 p.m. So a tornado in Missouri right now, which is probably right now there is
Oh, hold on a moment.
There-
Is that a confirmed tornado, or is it just a thunderstorm which could spawn a tornado, Steve?
there's a tornado on the ground.
Are you sure?
Is that near to
I don't
Chicago?
have enough time
Wait,
to
is that
read
right now?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's current, Michael.
I don't know.
Right
Let
now
me have a
there's
look.
4 tornadoes right now.
How far's that to Chicago where you live?
The one in Missouri is probably around 200 miles, while the one
I'm sorry, but I'm useless at American geology. Well,
Geography.
geography, yeah.
Geology.
That's
American
stuff.
rocks. Yeah. Okay. So what were we looking at here? I don't know what we were referring to. Illinois there, that's where Steve lives, so he's going to be much interested in that. By the way, we have a comment. Stephen says, got a message for Daniel, and that's not this Steve, by the
Yeah.
way, it's a different one. Have an iCola and relax. Shoalane is still churning.
Oh, rubbish.
What do you
How's
mean,
Jolene
rubbish?
I
doing
wish I
then,
did have.
Nathan?
Yes, it's weakening. It's down to 85 miles per hour. It's a Category 1 storm on the Saffir-Simpson Hurricane
Aye.
scale.
What was its
It's got
peak?
winds of around. Its peak was 105 miles per hour, which is 180 or so kilometers per hour, a bit less actually. It's down
Bottle
to
that.
about 130
Big
kilometers per
bottle
hour.
of that.
It was pretty. It was on its way to becoming Category 5 at one point, but then it just didn't.
It
do
really
it.
stalled.
But that's obviously welcome news from Rodrigues, which is what Sean's showing us right now, the loop of the storm passing Rodrigues. So that's the latest on that.
Instead of Icola, can I have a Hurricane Santa?
No, you can't.
Oh.
I have something to say.
Go ahead, Steve.
The tornado that was in Iowa is now gone, so right now it's a severe thunderstorm, so no tornado in Iowa.
Oh.
So
Well,
it
have you
looks
any near
like-
Chicago?
Nathan.
Yeah.
Talking about weather-wise at the moment. In the UK, you know my weather warning service, Mick Office. The south coast at
Don't
the moment
joke.
currently have warnings in place for 4-7 gales tonight.
4-7 gales. What does that mean to the average person, Michael, or to the international?
Yeah, it's around. It's not too much wind there. It's around about 50 to 60 miles an hour.
Oh,
So you have yellow warnings implemented
A gale warning,
for
really,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah, we have some warnings implemented.
All right.
And also, possibly tonight I might be showing you some satellite imagery on my TV for the UK.
Jason, could you just roll back one image there so we could see all that dry air near the storm? I don't know which storm you were looking at. Was it 94p or... Yes, that's Cyclone Jolene there. You can see all that yellow area denoting dry air around the storm, and that's probably been half the reason, if not most of the reason, why the storm hasn't intensified as much as was first predicted. It initially expected to become a Category 5 storm. It would have been the 5th this year already. Then it was Category 4, it was predicted. It didn't attain either of those. It so far has peaked to Category 2 storm and appears to be on the weakening trend now and on the wane. Though Meteo France, no, the other one, Jolene. Meteo France, however, do predict possibly a little bit of strengthening again before it weakens for what we expect to be the final time.
Well, Michael.
Yeah.
Wasn't there meant to be like remnants of some hurricane in the UK or something?
I know it's an extratropical cyclone that I was looking at, but it doesn't seem that has come to anything really.
Alright.
Sometimes happens. There's Sean's map showing where the storm's expected to go, so it's towards the southeast, sort of, and then gradually curving towards the south, a due south heading. Then it will turn post-tropical by the looks of things, and then eventually, if Sean could just scroll down slightly, where we can see the rest of the map, then it's likely to slow down by the looks of things, and then turn west initially, but then back towards the southeast, and eventually get picked up by a front, I think.
I've got a question.
Yeah?
Do hurricanes make U-turns?
Yeah, they do sometimes.
Oh, alright.
I mean, it depends what you mean by an actual U-turn, to be honest. They make loops.
Yeah.
Effectively a U-turn.
They don't cross over to different hemispheres, do they?
No.
No.
Well, no.
Strange.
Is it?
Well, there's probably an explanation for it, but...
Actually, it depends which hemisphere you're talking about, because storms can pass from the western hemisphere to the eastern hemisphere by crossing over the international date line, but that's just me being pedantic.
Not from the northern to the southern hemisphere.
No. Certainly not.
Yeah.
Michael, what are you showing us there? Anything interesting?
Well, I'm just trying to configure my television so people can see it.
It's very complex. We'll leave you to it. So if you've just joined us, the information is that Cyclone Jolene is a Category 1 storm on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. The winds are down to 85 miles per hour, which is around 130 or 125 kilometers per hour. It's weakening and has been doing so for around 12 hours. It reached a peak of 105 miles per hour, around 170 kilometers per hour, and it remains to be seen whether it will weaken further or perhaps intensify somewhat before the storm weakens again. But it does look like, I mean, all the forecasts appear to be saying more intensification, but the way it's been going, you couldn't really put any amount of money on that, could you, Daniel?
No. Not even all of your life earnings.
Right. We're also tracking the tornado activity in the United States. Steve's on top of that. Any news for us, Steve?
No.
Can you tell us, for those people who have just joined, what the latest is?
That there was a new tornado in Missouri.
New tornado in Missouri.
Virginia and in Ohio. So
and two tornadoes in Ohio, one near the border with West Virginia.
So if we added, so if there were 3 more tornadoes, then we would have a tornado outbreak. Right here, where NASA's hovering, is where the tornado potential activity is.
Okay, we sort of struggled to hear that, but I think we did okay. Jason's showing us also what the satellite imagery looks like for that area as well. I don't know whether you could scroll east ever so slightly, but actually I don't think you can, because that's just an image. But you can just about see the system on the right-hand side as well, which I think might be what's producing the Ohio storms as well. But you see that line there. And see, as I say before, I am not completely... tornadoes aren't my forte. I just mainly more of a storm guy, but well, they are storms, I suppose, supercells and all that. But you can see them affecting the whole area there. Some storm systems across the whole of the central part of the US there, Arkansas as well, and all amounts of severe thunderstorm warnings and all that stuff as well. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that throughout the show as well. Of course, we like to be inclusive and cover as much types of weather as possible. Stephen says, my tropical weather for tonight, 2 centimeters of snow and sleet, followed by up to 5 millimeters of ice from freezing rain. Now, Stephen, weren't you up in Maine? What part of Maine would that be? Because I gather that further north it'll be much worse than further south. We'll let him get back to it. Jean shows us the latest loop of the Cyclone Joe-Lane, covering all bases this evening. And that storm, as I've been saying, Class 1 warnings in effect for Rodrigues, the tiny island you can just about see on his screen there, on the edge of the storm. And that area may see some heavy rainfall, strong winds perhaps. You can see it a bit better on Jason's screen, I think. You can just about see the island of Rodrigues in the green area, which is where his cursor's hovering around right now as well. I don't know if you could zoom in on that a bit, Jason. It looks like good resolution. Where you can see the centre of the storm. It's not particularly well structured, in my opinion. There's no clear eye, of course, which is a complete giveaway, obviously. But I think you can just about see little areas where the eye might be sort of displaced a little bit towards the north and east of the centre of the core of intense weather. The northwest side of the storm is looking a little bit flaky, to say the least. The southwest appears to be the strongest, and the south as well. Extending around, wrapping around towards the east a little bit. But obviously that dry air is over towards the west of the storm, so that's obviously interfering by the looks of things. If anyone would like to say anything in the chat room at this point, then please do feel free.
Which chat room?
We weren't talking about that.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Stephen. Yeah, I gathered. I did wonder where in Maine he might be. Northeastern, right on the border with New Brunswick. So right up there near the very top. I imagine it must get pretty unpleasant there in winter. Don't think there'll be many tornadoes there, to say the least, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we might as well go ahead and tell you what happened on this day in the world of storms. April the 9th for some of us, April the 10th for others, including Jason, of course, in Western Australia. He's enjoying the rainfall that's occurring over there at the moment from the remnants of Cyclone Icola. On April the 9th, Tropical Storm Carmen dissipated in 1980 in the Eastern Pacific. And on April the 10th, Tropical Storm Anne dissipated in the Western Pacific in 1996. Tropical Storm Jacob made landfall in Luzon in the Philippines and dissipated in 1999. And Sudal in 2004 peaked as a Category 4 storm and struck Yap, and it caused apparently 90% destruction when it did so. Maysac could have been something similar, but I don't think it was. Of course, Maysac was not too bad for the Philippines in the end, which is welcome news. There were no fatalities in the end. We're keeping tabs on that. There are only around 2,000 people evacuated, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been by some distance.
Mm-hmm. Has Steve got any information on the tornado? No.
Jason's showing us the rainfall that's occurring in southwestern Australia at the moment. You can see that's what's left of Icola moving through the southwestern part. Does that area have a name, Jason? I know Western Australia is the state, but that sort of area must have some sort of name attached to it. I don't know Australian geography, nor do I know American geography too well. Just like Daniel, but a bit better.
Shut up.
But it looks like most of the rain has left Perth, leaving a little bit behind, and is passing through the area around Albany and Esperance at the moment.
Nathan.
Yes, Michael. I was wondering why you went so quiet.
Yeah, currently preparing a weather forecast to show you guys if possible within the next sort of 5 to possibly 10 minutes.
Well, we seem to be doing weather for everywhere else, so we may as well include the UK as well.
Yeah, I'm going to do a worldwide forecast that I'll present on the screen
A
here.
worldwide forecast. We don't have
no.
any night, Michael.
Yeah, but it's just going to be summarised, just the capital cities really.
All right then. Well, if you can fit it inside 5 minutes, I'll give you a medal.
Again,
I'll give you the medal.
Daniel will give you one as well. Oh,
Yeah.
there's the areas around Australia. Okay, fine. So southwest really is the very, very southwest. Great Southern, Wheat Belt, Peel and Perth, and Goldfields Esperance out towards the east with a huge area. I'm guessing that's because it's very sparsely populated all towards the Great Desert there as well. Thanks for showing us that, Jason. You're watching Force 13's live update with myself, Nathan Foy, and how many people are on this panel at the moment? 5. We've got Jean, Daniel, Jason, Michael, and Steve all joining us. Most of us covering tropical storms. Steve over there is in Illinois. He's covering the tornado activity that we have this evening. Any news, Steve?
Checking.
The NWS website.
That tornado that was in the northern Ohio is dissipated right now. It's just a thunderstorm. So right now there's only 2 tornadoes in the U.S. right now.
That's a tornado warning, right? Is it, Steve?
Yeah, the tornado warning has expired right now in northern Ohio. That tornado was a severe thunderstorm.
So severe thunderstorm. That's marked in orange, right?
Yeah.
So the orange areas are swathes of eastern Ohio as well, and the severe thunderstorm warnings, as well as West Virginia too. And the small area in red you can just about see along the border of Ohio and West Virginia. That's where we have a tornado warning in effect, and also in, was it Iowa or was it Missouri there? No idea.
This is Missouri, and this
Missouri,
is
yes. So that's the situation over there. We're watching all of the storms occurring over there, which is of course pretty common in the springtime in the US. I'm sure everyone there knows that much. Historic tornado seasons. 2011 was pretty bad, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was.
The Lime Snowball says, "Hey guys, I'm back."
Hello.
Hello. I love how you just say hello, Daniel. Like you sound so depressed when you say hello. Just hello.
Hello. This, which states are in the tornado alley? You know, where it gets the most tornado activity in the USA.
That's easy. Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, and southern North Dakota.
All right.
Down in the line, don't they?
And Missouri. I did say that. And
Yeah, Jason, Oklahoma does get them bad. Excellent, Steve. Unfortunately, we can't show other broadcasts usually because of copyright and all that stuff.
Does Maryland ever get tornadoes?
Maybe.
Yeah, cookie tornadoes.
Yeah, I would show it, Steve. Unfortunately, I
Wait.
cannot risk the copyright infringement and all that.
well, the tornado in northern Ohio came back.
Okay, so still a tornado warning for what looks like a bit of a larger area now as well in Ohio. There you can see across those 3 counties. I'm not sure which ones.
I don't know either. I don't know.
But tornado warning for that area, if you're familiar with it. Not too far from... Steve's going too fast for me to see what area. Not too far from Sandusky. If you look on Jason's image there, it's that cell towards the... not far from the top left of the screen there.
Oh, Craig Fisher's got a question.
Go ahead.
What will be the next named storm in the South Pacific?
Oh yes, I was supposed to answer that one for him, but I got waylaid with other things. I cannot remember what name of the next storm will be called. Oh dear, I'm not very good.
Oh dear. That's not professional.
It's not professional at all. Is that, Jason, is what you typed the actual name or something else? Interesting name.
What name is it?
I don't know. Yeah, Solo.
Solo.
Solo. Yes, Stephen, good point. We haven't showed anyone this yet. Let's take a look at the models for the current storm, the Invest 94P near Australia. Let's take a look at the whole South Pacific actually, whilst we can. If I can press the right button. Oh, the
Where's
hold on.
Pam?
Sorry,
Where's Pam?
Pam.
Yeah,
That's
Pam.
wrong gone.
Pam's nowhere to be seen, Steve.
I don't care. I want to see it again.
Stephen says the next name is Kwang. That's the Australian region now, isn't it, rather than the South Pacific?
I think.
Yeah, it is. So you can see on this map here where the storms are expected to go. Let's take a look then. Let's go forward in time. So this system here is the one we're looking at to becoming possibly a storm. That's Invest 94P, which my cursor is hovering around. You can see as it moves towards the southeast and another low pressure system behind it. That may be a tropical storm there affecting New Caledonia, and the system behind it may possibly form as well, maybe, or I think it stays weak. But that actually hovers not too far from Vanuatu. We certainly don't want to see that. And then dissipates. It's quite a far cry from what we saw in yesterday's update, where it had a storm, a significant storm, moving towards the south over the Coral Sea. But it looks like now that it's just going to be Invest 94P. The one behind it appears to be much weaker. Invest 94P, by the looks of things, will probably be maybe a tropical storm, weak to moderate by the looks of it, but difficult to tell. But you can see there once again, rainfall will affect New Caledonia by the looks of things. Obviously, we can't say with this with any degree of certainty, so we can't confirm this. But as time goes on, obviously we'll get a better idea for it all, and we'll obviously keep you up to date if anything does happen over the next few days, as we have been doing on our live updates for some time now.
Nathan.
Yeah.
Within the next 5 to 10 minutes, the forecast should be ready.
Excellent.
It'll be for the next 5 days. It'll be for the next 5 days worldwide.
The next 5 days worldwide. Are you sure this will take 5 minutes, Michael?
It'll be about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm rushing it to completion.
All right. Well,
Don't
sure
rush
thing.
it. Steve.
Yeah, did
What?
Steve have something to say just then? Yes. Oh. If you've just joined us, the latest news is that Cyclone Charlene is weakening in the southwest Indian Ocean, but it could still re-intensify. It currently has winds of 85 miles per hour, which is around 125 kilometers per hour, and it's gradually weakening at the moment, but it could re-intensify. It reached a peak yesterday with winds of 105 miles per hour, around 170 kilometers per hour, and is headed towards the southeast, gradually turning towards the south, and then weakening and eventually dissipating in around 4 or 5 days' time. The remnants of Ebola are moving through Australia. Jason's keeping on top of that one, though there isn't really much to report apart from rainfall and hail and gales where he lives in Western Australia. And of course, we're also keeping track on Invest 94P, which could become our next cyclone in the South Pacific, though it doesn't look like it will be a threat to Vanuatu. Hopefully not, fingers crossed. And of course, we're keeping our eyes on the tornado watches and warnings in effect for parts of the US as well, which Steve is going to be keeping us updated on throughout the rest of the show, as he has been doing for the first part. 20 minutes to go for our hour-long broadcast. This is Force 13 Live.
I have to say something.
Go ahead.
That tornado in northern Ohio has again dissipating. Right now, it's a severe weather.
So what's that blue area? I don't see blue on the right-hand side.
This blue right here,
Yeah.
That's severe weather statement, like severe thunderstorm warnings.
Okay.
But I don't know why the orange is showing.
Where's Chicago?
Well, to the left of this.
Chicago is right here.
Yeah, and
I can't see it. Where? Oh yeah.
there's something missing there. Has something changed?
Yeah, the red is missing.
Oh,
here.
just that one, yeah. So all those yellow areas, what was that again, Steve?
Tornado watch.
Tornado watch, yes. The orange area is severe thunderstorm warning. Parts of western Illinois, as far as I could tell, were under that, were they? No, not quite. Just over the border in Iowa, and further south into Missouri as well. Some areas where there's severe thunderstorms developing with the potential of producing tornadoes. That's why the whole area to the east of that is under tornado watch. I'm getting the hang of this, aren't I? And tornado warnings in effect for one area in. Is there still one in Missouri under a tornado watch, a tornado warning as well?
Oh my
as
God.
well as it's flashing on and off, isn't it? As well as the area along the border of Ohio and West Virginia is where we have another tornado warning in effect as well, with severe thunderstorms occurring to the east and north of that too.
What intensity are these tornadoes, Steve? Do you know?
Checking right now the one in
Ow.
Missouri.
Has there actually been any reported yet, Steve? Because as far as I can tell, these are just tornado warnings with the potential for tornadoes, not actually a confirmed sighting.
Oh. Well, that tornado in northern, or the possible tornado in northern Ohio has again came back, even though it's not
Right.
showing it here.
Okay.
So right now we got, so, I don't know, I forgot what to say.
All right then, we'll keep Steve tracking that. Oh, there's a graphic as well showing what's that? Moderate or
Enhanced.
okay, enhanced risk.
Here you go.
Yep, nice. So the whole area around there, extending just east of Dallas, Texas, all the way through to Chicago, under an enhanced warning. That's is that for tornadoes or for anything?
Huh?
Is that for tornadoes or for any kind of bad weather?
That's for risk for severe storms.
Severe storms, okay.
Steve,
Mhm.
could you zoom in a bit on that? Because I can't really see it. Still can't see. It's this stupid app.
Never mind, Daniel.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like Illinois, pretty much all of Illinois is under the enhanced area, and most of Indiana as well.
Mhm.
Extending with the slight risk as far as Pittsburgh and Charleston too.
Mhm.
All right.
And this is for the tornado risk.
Yep. Quickly, Steve. So the biggest area is around where Steve lives, actually, in Illinois, west of Chicago, extending towards, is it Hannibal?
And this is where it is right now. For 10%, for tornado, it's Chicago, Aurora, Rockford, Naperville, and Joliet, Illinois.
All right then. We'll return with Steve as soon as any more news comes in. But in the meantime, we should do more tornado-themed updates because Steve knows what he's talking about.
Nathan,
Yeah, Michael.
didn't you do some tornado animations?
Yeah, I remember.
I did a test, didn't I?
So you did some experimental. I thought that was actually kind of a good idea. I think you should bring them back.
I know. There's so many things that need to be brought back, Michael. There's just no time to do them. There really isn't. I've got barely enough time to do these live videos. Never mind anything else.
I do have Serif Movie Plus now, but it's Serif Movie Plus 5. That's only like compatible for like Windows.
Jason, thanks for joining us this evening. He's leaving us now, so thank you, Jason, for doing another service for us this evening, and I'm sure we'll see Jason again very soon. Au revoir.
Sayonara.
Sayonara. We'll be finishing in 15 minutes as well. We'll be calling it a night here at Force 13 HQ. But in the time, we'll be keeping... Yeah, shut up. We'll be keeping you updated until then on everything going on around the world of storms, whether it be cyclones, which is what we primarily cover, or, as tonight for the first time, whether it is tornadoes. Yes, Michael, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, so, because there was a bit of an awkward silence.
There was a bit, wasn't there? Don't worry about the awkward silences, Michael.
Steve, why have you got my profile open on Skype?
All right, Daniel. Never mind that. Let's stay on topic, shall we?
Okay.
Yes. So if you've just joined us, and you want to know what the current situation is with the storms, well, the latest Cyclone Charlene is currently churning still in the southwest Indian Ocean. It's weakening though. It's down to 85 miles per hour, around 125 kilometers per hour, and has weakened from 105 miles per hour not so long ago. It could still re-intensify as it makes its closest approach to Rodrigues. That's why a Class 1 warning is still in effect for the island, which could experience storm force winds and of course heavy rainfall. The storm is very close to the island, but it's not very close, I suppose. The centre of the storm is still well offshore. Might have been a different situation if it did what it was planned to do, and the forecast was just a few days ago for the storm to become a Category 5, but that hasn't happened. Category 2 it reached in the end. Steve, is that some news there?
That was the tornado warning near me a few hours ago, like around...
A few hours ago, okay.
That's 2 p.m. my time.
Do you have a more current one?
Yeah, the current one shows nothing at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's the current storm Charlene. We also have that's not a current image, but we should have some visible imagery arriving soon for Invest 94P in the South Pacific. Actually, there it is. This is the latest image. Look at that. Looks rather impressive for just an invest, doesn't it? Of course, Fiji have already tagged it as a tropical depression, and it could become a tropical storm very soon. You can see Vanuatu, that's on the right-hand side of the image here, the northern islands of Vanuatu. These are the Solomon Islands. Obviously, we don't want the storm going to Vanuatu. Well, we don't want it to go anywhere, really, but Vanuatu in particular, after what's happened there recently in the past 3 or 4 weeks. So we'll be keeping you up to date on this storm in particular. It looks like the moment the model's predicting that the storm will head towards New Caledonia, and there's a fair chance that it will make landfall there. So we'll keep our eyes on that, and hopefully not a similar event occurring in New Caledonia as what we've seen in Vanuatu, but I'm sure it won't happen. Anyone else to pick up the baton? Michael, are you ready? We'll run to the end of the show at this rate. Oh no, he's just...
Oh dear.
Yeah, Michael's certainly not ready.
Must have got stage fright.
Stage fright, yes. It's not like him. Not like him at all. That's what you're looking at though. Cyclone Charlene. Anything to add, Daniel? Any questions for us whilst I load up something else quickly?
No, not really.
Oh, that's helpful, Daniel.
Shut up.
It's very helpful indeed, you know. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Stop being so sarcastic. Not funny.
Okay, fine. Enough of all that nonsense. So yeah, again, that's the latest, the visible image of Invest 94P. The name doesn't really do its justice, I suppose, judging from how it looks. It looks almost like a tropical storm already. At the moment, it's Invest 94P, or as Fiji call it at the moment, I think it's Tropical Depression 15F.
Hello.
Cool, welcome back. Nice to meet you.
Don't know what happened there.
No, me neither.
I think my computer shut down for some reason.
It could have overheated.
Could have overheated. Yeah, I know. It's because it's a laptop, isn't it? There wasn't anything like on the stand, so I think it overheated and shut itself down. So if that happens again, that's possibly what could have happened.
All right then. Don't forget, those of you who are still counting, we've seen 23 tropical storms so far in 2015. 11 have become Category 1 hurricanes, and 8 of them have become Category 3 storms. Actually, that's higher now because the stats have changed. Let me just update those stats. It's actually now going to be 13 that have become hurricanes, and 9 major hurricane equivalent storms of Category 3 strength on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale in total. 4 of those in the South Indian. Am I right?
Yeah. And I have to say something.
Yes, go ahead, Steve.
Since that the potential thunderstorms risk for severe is still going through tonight in my area, so I'm just gonna stay up all night just in case if there are any severe weather warnings.
Okay.
So probably won't sleep until 12 in the morning.
Well, keep us posted, Steve.
Yeah. Our very own tornado tracker.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, Steve can be in the tornado department of Force 13.
What department am I in?
Make a page!
You're in the Looney Tunes department, Daniel.
Shut up.
Oh! Ouch! Oh!
Force 17 says hello.
Ouch!
Hello.
Whoa, what's the noise? Force 17 says hello. Is that like a spin-off of Force 13 or what? I have no idea who that is.
Rip off.
Please reveal yourself. No, don't be harsh. Don't be harsh.
Sorry,
They're watching our
Force
fantastic
17.
coverage. Yeah, Force 17 said hello. So I'm intrigued to see who they are.
Saying, Force 15 and Force 14 are taken, by the way.
Yeah, that's Michael taking
What
up
about Force 16?
just taking up numbers for the fun of it. Force 13 was supposed to be the only one to ever exist.
Could that be Force 12?
No. Stop.
Hey, you really need to have a teen on it. To
It's
make it.
What about Force?
113.
Yeah.
Force 113.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking of starting up Force 15 extra as well.
What about Force?
You're a fool. Why can't you just be part of our Force 13 hub here?
What about Force 6394?
No, that's
Oh, that's terrible, Daniel. That's a terrible joke.
13.
All right, guys. Enough with all that nonsense, please. Let's.
Can you create a tornado page?
Sorry. What was that, Steve?
Can you create a tornado page?
On what?
The website, your website.
One day, we're hoping to do a real overhaul of the whole website very soon, so hopefully it will have everything on it.
Rip it all down and get a new one.
It's pretty much what's going to be happening. We're going to be starting pretty much from scratch. That's why you've not seen many updates on the website of late, unfortunately. It's been neglected terribly, I know.
It's falling to pieces.
It's not falling to pieces, it's there, it's just out of date. It's last updated 4 days ago.
I can't even find the contact page.
For the time being, stay on YouTube, guys. But we'll let you know when the website renovation starts and finishes. Force 17 says, I'm the US version.
Oh, hello.
I need to have a discussion with Force 17, see what the deal is.
Yeah, get in contact with Nathan via Skype.
Yeah, you can. You can speak to me on Skype. Anyone can. Just add my Skype name. Fool 13. It's the numerals 13, just like Force 13.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's why it says Fool 13. No idea why.
Idiots.
Anyway. Hey. What can you do?
What did you say you were?
Oh, who's moving around? Daniel, hello.
Hello.
Michael asked you a question, but you were moving around and causing lots of noise.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to answer him?
What did he say?
Nothing.
Oh, who's doing that? Is that you, Daniel?
No.
Well, who is it?
Steve.
Right.
No.
John.
What you're looking at right now
Stevie
is
boy. Stevie.
Cyclone Lane,
One there.
headed towards the south. Don't forget, we also have Invest 94p.
Hi.
One.
in the South Pacific, in the Coral Sea,
Who the bloody
too
hell was
far
making that noise?
from the Solomon Islands. Thank you very much, Michael. And we also have tornado watches and warnings in effect for parts of the central part of the United States as well.
Okay, I concur. That's Daniel.
No! What would I be doing to make that noise?
Having a no,
Pardon?
nothing.
Okay, excellent. Let's move on. We're finishing up in about 5 minutes, by the way, guys, so you'll be really pleased with that. If you've got any questions to add quickly before we finish, please do send them in. Any questions from Michael or Daniel to ask each other, or to me, or to anyone else? Or Steve?
We have a new tornado.
Steve, tell us.
There's a tornado warning for southwestern Fayette County and southwestern Pennsylvania.
Can you show us, Steve?
Yeah, I'll show it right now.
Nathan,
Yeah, Mike.
was wondering if we could extend by possibly around 4 to 5 minutes.
4 to 5 minutes.
In Pittsburgh,
My
has issued
charge
a-
is about to run out.
Sorry, Steve, go ahead.
The National Weather Service in Pittsburgh has issued a tornado warning for southwestern Fayette County, southwestern Pennsylvania, southeastern Greene County, and southwestern Pennsylvania, northeastern Monongalia County, northwest Virginia, until 6:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado
Yeah,
in that area.
yeah.
Hmm.
I'll check for any more that are new. No. Yeah, I think that's the newest one right now.
Sorry, I'm not able to look at the moment, Steve. I'm sure someone else is watching. Oh yes, Steve's map. Yeah, there we are. So that is, where is that? Where are we? Missouri, yes. Near Mexico.
No, that's a county.
Okay.
Mexico County, not Mexico from North America.
Okay, Steve. All right. I get it. So that's occurring in.
Missouri.
Yeah. What's that further north as well in Iowa? What's that dark color?
Which one? Right here?
Yeah, what's that?
Flash flood warning.
Flash flood warning. Looks similar to a tornado warning in a way. Suppose they've got to use a colour for it, haven't they?
Maroon.
But tornado warning in effect for part of Ohio, near the border or over the border with West Virginia.
And a tornado warning, like right here, it just said it's not in the map.
Tornado warning just further towards the northeast as well. Oh yes, there it is, straddling the border with Pennsylvania and the West Virginia as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so near Morgantown, does that say?
Yeah, Morgantown, that's a good one.
There we are. So 2 tornado warnings in those areas. We could see tornadoes touching down in those particular areas in the next half hour or so. So that's the latest over there. We'll obviously keep you up to date with that. Daniel, what's so funny? Is the cat tickling you again? Has the cat got your tongue?
No. It's not the cat, it's something else.
If you can hear that, that's my antivirus software alerting me.
No, if you've got a
Excellent,
virus.
Michael. Oh, hi, Sean. Jean, I think, may want to finish now because we are nearing the end of the hour. Jean, you can leave at your own discretion if you want. But thanks for joining us anyway from Mauritius. Have a good night.
Goodbye.
It's very late where he is, so I don't blame him for that at all. Here in the UK, it's about to reach 11 p.m. local time, meaning it's around 2 a.m. in Mauritius, I think. In the United States, it's in the United States, in the central part of the US, Central Time. It is, what is it, 5 p.m. and 6 in the east. Yeah, 5 p.m. there and 6 p.m. in Eastern Time. Daniel, stop yawning on air.
I'm tired.
No, well, I don't care. You need to stop yawning on air.
I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Jean's joining in now as well.
I'm sorry.
Hi, John.
Steve?
This is hi to Sean.
Yes, okay, yes, indeed.
Hi.
John, I think...
Nathan.
Yeah. Michael, go ahead.
I might just do a weather forecast for BBC Weather, and I'll have the one prepared for next time.
Yes, well, get on with it, Mike. You've had 20 minutes to prepare for this, man.
Okay, so
Is it getting better or worse, Mike?
I'm gonna pick a few capital cities to do. We're going to do weather forecasts for Manila, London, Washington DC, and we'll also be doing Sydney and also Perth.
Jeez, how long do you plan to be here?
Oh God.
I can make it.
You fancy a sleepover or something?
Okay then. So first we'll get right off the bat.
Yeah, go for it.
With London.
Go, go, go.
Nice hair, Steve.
Okay, so tomorrow in London, cloudy, sunny intervals, highs of around 10. Saturday, more of the same sunny intervals and highs of around 15.
10?
Also going into Sunday, is 16 degrees and fairly cloudy, and also on Monday, sunny with highs of 16 degrees.
Remarkable,
now
Mike.
Going over to Manila.
Yeah, much warmer there, I should hope.
It'll now be on Friday morning at around 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment temperatures are around 29 degrees, I believe. No, 26. So today
over there.
So for Manila, highs of around 33. Seems to be more of the same, with highs of around 33 to 34. With some spells of rain coming on to Tuesday, also on Sunday. But mainly quite a nice sort of dry weekend, and a few just cloudy and wet spells. Now going over to Washington DC, on Friday there is lots. Sorry.
There's lots of coughing in Washington DC.
There's quite a bit of rain around on Friday, and also fairly light winds, which is quite nice. Highs around 24 on Friday, and also a fairly sunny weekend. Highs of around 16 on both days, and Monday seems to be calls for a higher temperature day, which ironically, and it's also cloudy. Highs of around 22.
That happens sometimes.
Now going over to Sydney.
Daniel's had enough of this.
Seems to be more of the same. It's going to be wet spells over the weekend and mainly cloudy with a few sunny intervals, and temperature around 20 in the low 20s, around 21 to 22, well about 20 as well. But should be a pleasant weekend, and also next week.
Very good.
And finally in Perth, as you know, they're getting the remnants of Cyclone Nicola, I think.
Yeah, the R&D was talking to
and it is going to be very wet for the next few days. On Saturday, sunny intervals with very heavy rain at times. It seems to be raining most of the day. Highs of around 23, and actually today got a quite nice day. Highs of around 25, but very heavy rain at the moment. And also Monday, cloudy with some sunny intervals, but mainly overcast and a lot of cloud cover around.
Yeah.
Also on Tuesday, in Perth, also some wet spells around, but it's mostly sunny and clear, but going to overcast later in the day. That's all from Mick Office, with the aided help of BBC Weather.
Very good, Michael. One thing that Michael forgot to say is that all those temperatures are in Celsius. So Washingtonians, if you're worrying about it being below freezing for the rest of your life, it's not happening, don't worry.
That's a failure.
Yeah, I only work in Celsius. I don't work in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, well, professionals work with both. John's on the phone. Excellent. It's time for us to go. It's 3 minutes past 11. We've overrun a bit, but who cares? We can do whatever we want here. This was Force 13 Live. I was Nathan Foy, and we had our fantastic panel again this evening. And hopefully we'll have more of the same tomorrow. We'll keep you up to date on all things storms, and maybe we'll have more tornado news coming up in the near future as well. That is a little bit of a trial, because we haven't really done tornadoes before. Daniel?
Should I mention the wiki?
Get on with it. You've already mentioned it once.
I haven't. Not tonight.
You've just mentioned it then.
Oh,
That was the what?
Force 13 wiki is force-13.wiki.com.
And if Force 17 is any good, they can actually do a little entry on it as well if they wanted to.
Yeah. It's not endorsed by you, is it?
Well, I don't know about endorsement, but I do not have any part to play in that wiki at this point.
What if somebody writes abusive material about somebody?
And they're going to be laying all the legal documents in front of your desk, Waniel.
Mine?
Yes, because you started it.
Oh well.
All right, it's time we finished up, and everyone's got bored of watching us, so we might as well stop. Sorry?
I'm not bored.
Yeah, I know you're not bored, Steve. It's fun.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I know you are. Anyway, let's clear off. We'll be back again another time. Visit the social pages, Force13 on Facebook and Twitter. As always, we'll be back again at a similar time tomorrow, I am sure. Until then, that's all from us for now. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.